The elderly woman pleaded with her son's fiancée, "My arms are tired." Then the millionaire rushed. In a luxurious mansion nestled on the edge of the city, an elderly woman sat trembling, her frail hands clutching a tray too heavy for her weak arms. Across the room, her son's fiancée scrolled through her phone, ignoring the old woman's pleas. "My arms are tired," the mother whispered, her voice cracking with exhaustion. But instead of compassion, she received a cold glare. What the young woman didn't know was that someone was watching. Someone whose single decision would soon change everything. When the millionaire walked in and saw what was happening, his face turned pale with disbelief. What he did next left everyone in the house completely silent. This is not just a story about wealth or power, it's a story about humanity, respect, and the painful truth behind appearances. Eleanor had once been the pride of her neighborhood, a woman of grace, kindness, and strength. After her husband passed away, her only joy remained her son, Daniel. When Daniel became a successful businessman and introduced his fiancée, Clara, to her, Eleanor's heart filled with hope. She imagined a daughter-in-law who would love her like family. At first, Clara was charming, always smiling, bringing flowers, and calling Eleanor Mom. But after the engagement, things began to change. The smile faded, the tone grew sharp, and the warmth disappeared. Daniel was often busy with his business empire, leaving Eleanor and Clara alone in the house. Slowly, the mansion became a place of silent suffering. Clara treated Eleanor not as family but as a burden. She would order her around, subtly asking her to carry things, clean up, or serve meals even when her hands trembled. "You should stay active," Clara would say with a fake smile. Eleanor never complained. She feared that if she spoke up, her son might suffer in his relationship. One morning, while preparing tea for Clara, Eleanor's arms began to ache. She tried to steady the tray, but her weak wrists quivered. "My arms are tired," she whispered. Clara, scrolling through her phone, barely looked up. "Then maybe you should exercise more," she said coldly. What neither of them realized was that Daniel had returned home early that day. He was about to learn a truth that would break his heart. Daniel walked in quietly, hearing voices from the living room. He froze as he saw his mother struggling to hold a tray while Clara sat comfortably, giving orders. His mother's face was red with strain. "Clara, could you please take it?" Eleanor asked softly. "Oh, don't be dramatic," Clara snapped. That's when the tray slipped from Eleanor's hands, shattering cups and spilling hot tea across the floor. She gasped in pain as drops burned her skin. Clara stood up, angry not because Eleanor was hurt, but because the carpet was stained. Daniel rushed forward, shouting, "Mom!" He grabbed her trembling hands and turned to Clara. "What's wrong with you?" His voice thundered through the mansion. Clara stammered. She wanted to help. But Daniel wasn't fooled. The camera in the hallway installed for security had recorded everything. He played it back on his phone right there. The truth was undeniable. Clara's face turned pale. Eleanor, sobbing quietly, tried to protect her. "Please, Daniel, don't be angry. She's young, she'll learn." But Daniel's heart shattered. "No, Mom, you deserve respect, not pity." That evening, Daniel made a decision that would surprise everyone, including his mother. The next day, Clara came downstairs to find her bags packed. "Daniel, you can't be serious," she cried. "You're ending this over a mistake?" Daniel looked her in the eye. "It wasn't a mistake, it was cruelty. If you can't respect my mother, you can't share my life." Clara stormed out, slamming the door. Turning to Eleanor, Daniel knelt beside her chair. "Mom, I'm so sorry. I should have seen it sooner." She placed her trembling hand on his head. "It's not your fault, my dear. Sometimes love blinds us." A week later, Daniel made a quiet but powerful gesture. He turned one of his company's new projects into a foundation for elderly care. Naming it Tired Arms, a mother's strength, it provided comfort, care, and companionship for seniors who had no one. Eleanor smiled proudly, tears of joy glistening in her eyes. Months later, as Daniel looked at the first group of elderly residents smiling and laughing, he realized something profound. Wealth could build houses, but only respect and love could build homes.